Hello everyone, another Trey here, and welcome to episode 14 of my Let's Play Modded Minecraft for version 1.21. Today I want to work on a couple things. The first, I really need to put glass over these, but the first thing I want to do is I want to get an item being created automatically, kind of like how we're waiting for this stuff to build up so that we can get our netherite. We're also going to need another item for crafting called singularities, and we're going to need a lot of these, and these are made in two ways, with a reaction chamber and a matter condenser. The matter condenser is the first way, so we're going to go ahead and make one of these, and then with that we are going to need also a 250. Well, I think we'll just go for the 256 because we're gonna need it anyway. Well, we're gonna need some more silicone for that. Let's go a little smaller. Let's just do a 16 for now. And of course we're gonna need some more Certus dust. So let's go ahead. I really should get this automated. Shouldn't be too hard to do that. We can do it with an extractor. Do we want to do it this way? Put a water block under it, and then a flawless, and then an extractor. We could actually just stick it right on top of this guy. Oh no, we would need to put the water block under it. That would probably limit our... I'll have to think about that. Maybe we'll do that. But for now, we're just going to grab some dust like this. We also, at any time, can get some Certus quartz like this because we have so much of it. And just, we can throw it in our sag mill. So it's not really that hard to get. It's just kind of time consuming and annoying. So we'll let that grind up and then we'll have a bunch of it. Let's go ahead and throw this stuff in here. I don't want to throw this stuff in our system because we still have limited space in there. So let's go ahead. We have our matter condenser, and then in order to make singularities, we're going to need let's do the 16K for now and hope that's big enough. Shouldn't take too long to craft. Yep, it's done already. And then with that, we can take this guy. I actually 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's finish that off. Actually, let's do it on the side 6. So if I request, do I have engineering actually, let's go ahead and automate the creation of what are they called, controllers. Not that we're gonna need like a super ton of them, but it's just easier to get them out of the way this way. So let's go down here to this. And then if I request a controller, if I request 6 controllers, we don't know how to make fluix yet, but we have everything else. So let's just go ahead and make some fluix quick. So if we take some charged Certus, and we take some nether quartz, and we take some redstone. I am gonna have to run over here now because I moved our water pool. Turn off this guy. And then boop, boop, and boop. We're gonna fix this problem too soon. Actually, we should probably look into, so the reaction chamber is the block that you're gonna need to automate fluix production. But let's just throw these in here for now. You know what? This is probably using them. That's the thing. I wonder if they're being, well, since we don't have any more seeds, that shouldn't happen anymore. Anyway, so we've got our 16K, we've got our matter condenser. We needed some controllers. So if we get 6 of these, that should only take a second. We should really just flesh this thing out now that we have, you know, the ability to do it. There, then we'll take our matter condenser here and we're gonna put him, I want to do it, so what this guy is going to do is he's going to give us the option to destroy items, condense them into matter balls, or condense them into singularities. As you can see, it takes 256,000 items, it can be any item, to make a singularity. And the item we have the most of cobblestone. We have literally infinite cobblestone. So we're just going to be feeding cobblestone into this thing as quickly as we can. In order to do that, we're going to need an export bus. Do we know how to make those? We do. Do we know how to make, is there like an extended one that's super fast? ME extended export bus. Let's start making those guys. All right, so now that we've got those, we can go ahead and do the extended guy, and then that is going to go, I want to say, in the, where's our crystal assembler, right? Is that right? And then if we request one of those, should have everything we need. It's all gonna get crafted up and go in here. Did it finish already? It sure did. All right. Let's get a piece of cable. Do we have any cable? We have a couple. If we put this guy, what I want to do is put it, let's turn our magnet back on. Let's go ahead and put this guy up here, and then this guy here, and then a cable to connect that setup. And then, oh my gosh, let's change this to singularities. We're going to put this guy in here, and then all we should have to do is tell this that you're exporting cobblestone. And what's going to happen here? Is this going in? Yes, and it's going in 8 at a time, which seems slow. Can we increase this? We're also going to want acceleration cards, and we can have how many acceleration cards in this guy? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 acceleration cards. All right, we need to do something about this jetpack. There is a e-bind. I think it's called throttle. All right, so decrease throttle is comma. It's a really dumb key. So we're down to 60% now. Is that better? Yeah, that'll make it easier. Okay, so now that we've got that, we need our acceleration cards. We said we can do 8, right? That should be easy. Hopefully it'll take 8. Is that 8 slots? It only takes 4. Oh yeah, it does say 4 there, and then it's got 4 slots for something else. Well, now we have room for another one. How fast is this going up? Fast, but we can do better. Let's do another export bus. And done. We're gonna go ahead and put that there and that there. We're gonna tell him also cobblestone. Can we set this to like do multiples at a time? Capacity card, acceleration card, crafting card, fuzzy card. Does a capacity card make it do? All right. Default speed multiplier 8 is configurable. Faster than normal bus. I mean, export bus default speed multiplier 8 is configurable. They also have more upgrade slots compared to the normal one. So then how do you change it to more than 8 at a time? Can we do, is it a capacity card? No, capacity card gives us more slots. Anyway, how fast is this going? Maybe it means it's configurable. All right, so is this not big enough? This might not be big enough. All right, so I think I had to upgrade it to a 256 because I threw a 16 in there, and or a 64 because I threw a 16K in there and it got to the top and it stopped. Oh, you know what? That makes sense because it says 256,000 items. We were only able to hold 16,000 items. But now when it gets up to 256, it should spit out one of those singularities. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do a import bus Do I made those yet? No, let's go ahead and import bus. Not an extended one. ME import bus. Let's do that. We should know how to craft all that stuff. And then put that here, and then we should be able to request an import bus. Yeah. No. Yes, import bus. So then that will go here, and then we can go like that and connect it up, and that should pull any resulting singularities into our system. Did we make one yet? I don't even know. We did. So we have our first singularity. This is going to be used to make a whole bunch of stuff, not just for applied energistics base, but also for the mods, the additions to it. So that's going to give us the ability to make the quantum crafting unit for the quantum computer. The quantum computer core takes a while because that one's pretty crazy. The reaction chamber can also make these, I believe, or maybe it's the crystal assembler. But anyway, what we're going to do now that that is going, we're just going to let that go, and that's going to make us a whole bunch of singularities because we're going to need them. We're up to 2 already. That's freaking sweet. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do, I'm going to call cooking with another tray because I need to get this food situation under control. First thing I would like to do is get an upgrade for our backpack. Which I think is it a feeding upgrade? Yeah, let's get this guy going. We're gonna need one of these, which is leather. Why do I not have leather thrown in the system? I know I have some. Let's go ahead and put this guy in here. And then try that again. So which one's the backpack one? Well, that's the advanced one. This one's for the backpacks. Let's make one of these. And then we need a golden apple, a golden carrot, and a golden glistering melon slice. So golden, do we have a golden apple? It's rare that I don't actually have one. I don't. So, okay, let's go ahead and make a golden apple. So nuggets. That is not how that works, is it? Is it just gold? See, this vanilla stuff always confuses me. There we go. Golden apple, melon, I'm pretty sure we don't have. Did I ever find a melon? I didn't. No way I never found a melon. Where in the world can I find a melon? Well, I'm going to go on the hunt for a melon, I guess. I know it. Wait, didn't we find like a beach village? Let's go to Spawn Village and take a look around. Did we find any jungle? We might never have even found a jungle. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to hunt around this village and see if I can find any melons that I might have left behind. Take these apples and these potatoes. And if I find one, I'll come back and we'll have a melon. And if I don't find one, I'll come back and we'll go find a jungle. Cool. So we just got the Centennial advancement, which gives me this little trophy. And I think it's from opening 100 chests. So that's pretty cool. While I'm here, I am also going to go ahead and steal as many books as I can in anticipation of our doing enchanting, which should be pretty soon. I'm also going to go ahead and take this brewing stand because I know we're going to need it. I know they're not hard to make, but if it's there, why not take it? While I'm out and about in the world, I am also going to make 2 data models, one for pigs. Do we have this guy? Yeah. And I would like one for cows as well. Let's get pigs going in here. And we're going to take the wither skeleton one out for now because there's no wither skeletons in the overworld. Let's go ahead and I also learned that you can put this in your offhand and that will keep the statistics up in the top corner while I'm killing so that I can see at all times like how many more I need. I should have brought another one for chickens, but for right now I think we're good with pigs and cows. And here we've got our first bovine friend. Take you. And we'll stick him in there. I hear a spider. Oh my god, they're whatever this mod is, these spiders are terrifying. But now we should be able to do cows as well. Okay. All right, so we got our cow model up to advanced. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here and take that out because we're gonna need a lot of beef for the cooking that we're gonna be doing. So let's go ahead and make some more. Did I teach the system how to make predictions? It absolutely needs to know how to make predictions. So let's do that. Throw this guy in here. And then let's make, I don't know, a bunch of them. Let's go ahead and throw these predictions in here and let our cow model go so we can start making us some beef. So I'm still on the hunt for watermelons. Let's check somewhere else. I was pretty sure we found like a village on the beach or something. Maybe there was no waypoint at that one. Let's go to the spruce village. I'm gonna loot this one now too and let you guys know if I find. All right, so I've decided I'm gonna use a nature's compass to find a jungle because apparently villagers don't like melons very much. So let's go ahead and find us a jungle. What is the nearest jungle? 1,000 blocks, 1,500 blocks, 2,000 blocks. Oop. Oh, jetpack's on, that makes it harder. 3,000 blocks and it's still searching. 3,500. This might not be an option. 4,000 blocks. This is a lot of chunk generation. 3,066 blocks. All right, I'm gonna try it and I'll come back and let you guys know how it goes. So it looks like we're crossing the ocean. I did find, actually this isn't the ocean, is it? This is our giant lake. I did find a tower there and there's been a bunch of like boats in the middle of this. Let's go check this one out quick. Is this a bad guy boat or a good guy boat? This is a bad guy boat. We're gonna leave them alone right now. We're gonna continue on our way to the jungle. Hey, I see jungle treetops. We made it. I am getting a little bit of rubber banding and bouncing around from the chunk generation because we went quite a ways from home to get here, but we did find a jungle. So let's see if we can find some melons real quick. And that was super easy once we got here. Some melons right here not long after I came in. I wouldn't mind grabbing some cocoa beans while I'm here too, but I don't see any ripe ones, and I'm pretty sure if you break the not ripe ones you don't get any. So I'm just gonna get some melons. I should have brought a waystone here. Do I have any with me? Probably not. I should carry one around at all times, but I don't. So I guess for now this is fine. We know where the jungle is if we ever need to come back here. Is there anything on the map that looks interesting? Not really. It actually looks like this is probably a pretty small jungle. There's something down here. Is that a tower? I'm going to check out and see if that's a tower, because if it is, that's a waypoint. And it does indeed look like this is a tower. This is actually a pretty tall one, although maybe it's just because it's on top of a hill. So let's grab our jungle tower, and then we have a way to get back to the jungle whenever we want. All right, so now we've got some melons. Should plant some of those, but I'm not really worried about it right now because we only need one. And we're going to use that to resume our feeding upgrade. So we need a glistering melon. Done. We need a golden carrot. Done. And that should get us our feeding upgrade. Now, obviously, we're also going to want to upgrade this to the advanced version if we can. Yes, actually, that's super easy. Because that'll give us some more filtering options. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in our backpack. and it's gonna start just feeding us automatically from any food that it finds in our backpack. But we don't want to use just any food. Did it actually eat up, like, I don't even know what we had in there, maybe some apples or something? Okay, so now what we want to start working towards is some kind of like, is there like a bacon cheeseburger? How good is this guy? Bacon cheeseburgers give tons of hunger. Wow, that's actually really good. What does it take to make this? Holy cow, all kinds of stuff. So it only takes the Pam's ground beef. It'll take a raw pork chop. It'll take some cheese or silken tofu. Is there like, I know Open for Block or Kitchen Cooking for Blockheads has like a milk jar. Can we do this? Cow in a jar. So you take a milk jar, put a cow above it, and then you drop an anvil on it. That is a clever thing. But we are going to need a milk bucket first. So let me get, actually in the meantime, I'm going to put, no, we're not. I don't want to waste the bread because I think we might need that. So let's make a cow in a jar. That sounds like fun. That's something I like. Cooking for Blockheads isn't something that I've done a lot with. So let's go to Spawn Village because there should be cows here unless I murdered them all, which is highly likely. Yeah, so let's hope that there's like a cow. Probably not in that direction because that's the way I went to find the jungle, so they're probably all dead. But if I go this way, can we find a cow? Ah, cow. All right, so now that we've got that, we should be able to pretty easily make our milk jar, which is just like this. And then we're gonna need an anvil, which should be pretty easy. And then we just need to actually put a cow in it. So the easiest way to do that, let's go ahead and make a creature catcher. From Just Dire Things, because this thing is awesome. Let's go ahead and put this guy in here, get rid of some stuff in our backpack. I don't need this, or feathers. Do I have a spot in the system for feathers? I should. I do. Why is it over there? I don't know. So now, I should have thought about this before, but I'm just going to go ahead and catch this cow. Where was that? It was right beside that, right beside the meteor, right? Which we're right here. The meteor is to the north. Is that the same meteor? Maybe it was this one. I don't know. We'll try this one first. Well, there's actually a cow right there, so that's fine. So we should just be able to bloop, up and miss, and bloop, and we got a cow. Cool. So this part should be fun. I guess the easiest way to do this is just going to be to put the jar down. Let's get some blocks. And then we don't need this guy, right? We can just put him there. And then if we let our cow go here, get in the hole, buddy. Get in the hole, buddy. Can you fit in that hole? Maybe cows are too big to fit in that hole. Let's put him back in here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Why did I do this with wool? This was dumb. Probably just because it was available. Cobblestone. All right. He should fit in this hole, right? Yeah, and then all we should have to do... No! Cows can jump! Come here. Alright, go like this. We'll make the hole too deep. Alright, and then we'll put the cow in here. No! Don't die, cow! Okay. So now he's not dying. Let's go ahead and put our anvil here. Did that do it? Sounded like it. Made some special noises. Now the next question is, I can break this, right? And it still stays a cow in a jar? Cool. Now this should, as far as I know, be an infinite source of milk, which is awesome. And then how do we make cheese from Pam's? So let's specifically do Pam's. Cheese is made with milk, salt in a pot. Salt from Pam's is made from water bucket and pot. So they're obviously going to need this pot. So let's make this guy. And then what's going to be an easy way? Let me think about how I want to auto craft this and I'll be right back. So the first thing I'm going to do is craft one of these infinity water cells. It's basically the same. Oh, I should not have used quartz glass. That was dumb. It's basically the same as the cobblestone one, except for water. So we now have an infinite supply of water in our system. And then I should be able to use that to make salt. We do have some salt for mechanism, but some salt from Pam's Harvest Craft. So if I wait for that to turn to that and then go like this, and then we put this in here. I should be able to just request 10 salt. It says it's missing the pot, but I thought, oh, because I didn't put the pot in the system. So the pot needs to be in the system. We do that. And yeah, now it's just going to make salt. We can make salt on demand, which is awesome. With that, I'm also going to take our cow in a jar. We're going to put this guy. We're going to need to have a storage bus. I'm hoping this works. I haven't actually tested this yet. Why do we not auto craft storage buses? ME storage bus. Hopefully our system knows how to make interfaces. I don't remember if it does or not. If not, we can teach it. Not a big deal. So let's request a storage bus. No, the system does not know how to make interfaces. So let's get that done. Those are pretty simple. Stick that right there. And then if we request a storage bus, should be happy. All right, we've got our storage bus. Let's throw this in our backpack. So this cow in a jar, I should be able to stick it. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Like, I guess for now, I don't want it to be in the way anywhere. So let's put our cow in a jar here. We'll put our storage bus here, and then we should just need a piece of cable to connect that up. And then if we look in our system, is that going to tell us that we have milk? It does. And it's constantly going up. I wonder if this little cow jar, oh yeah, it like slowly builds up over time. So it's not infinite. But that should be fine. So now if we want to be able to make cheese from Pam's, we should, let's make sure we're looking at the one from Pam's. Should just be able to do this. Is that the Pam's one? Yep. We don't want this large milk bottle. We just want a milk bucket, which I think should work. Will that work? So now if I request cheese, yeah, so now we've got automated cheese. If we want to make our bacon cheeseburger, which is this guy, we're also going to need this skillet, which is easy. Let's make sure we're set to a skillet, not a spear. We're also going to need ground beef, and we're going to need some kind of like topping. So I'm thinking, wow, there's like a lot of choices. What does barbecue sauce take? Tomatoes and mustard seeds with a saucepan. I kind of want to do barbecue sauce. Do we have tomatoes? We don't. So we would have to find tomatoes to do that, which probably wouldn't be that hard. But I don't know if I want to deal with it. Let's see if we have anything else. What about salt and pepper? That takes salt and black pepper in a mixing bowl. How do you get black pepper? From peppercorns, which comes from a tree. No, that sounds annoying. We're not going to do that. Let me see what topping I want to use, and I'll be right back. So I think we might have a solution to getting these extra seeds that we need in order to make barbecue sauce. So let's go ahead and make a red wool, and then we're going to make a market, right? And then if we take this guy and we just kind of stick him here somewhere, he's going to dig up out of the ground. And then can we get mustard seeds? That's not what we want, actually. Where's barbecue sauce? From Pam's. We're going to want mustard seeds. Where does that come from? Oh, I guess. Yeah, it does come from that. So that's fine. And then we're also going to need tomato, right? Is there a Pam's tomato? Yeah. So let's buy, we're going to need emeralds for this. So let's get a handful of those. And we're going to need mustard. We just put all these in here. Get a handful of those, and then we're also gonna need tomato. Yeah. And then it put our emeralds back for some reason. Oops, let's go back to mustard and get one more of those just so we're even. Okay, and thank you, sir. Let's go up to our farm and get these cooking up. So, do we have a bucket of water? No, I didn't bring one, of course. But there is an infinite source right here, so that's fine. And then we should be able to just dig, I guess. Do we want to do, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it like here. And that way we can fully extend this farm out. We still have our Celeste gem hoe, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be able to go out that far. And then we can take our tomatoes and then our mustard and let those start growing. That should be plenty for what we need. This should act just like these. It'll grow and it'll pop off and go right into our system when it's done. I would like to get one of each so that I can set a drawer for these guys, because we're gonna end up with a lot of them. Can we do this? Looks like we can. All right, so we should have got one of each there. Let's go back down here, get in our system. So tomato and mustard. Yeah, there we go. Then if we go over here and we take these, where do we want to put these? Probably on this line, right? Here and here. So they should automatically go in the drawer. Now let's make sure all the ones we just got are in the drawer just by doing that. And by doing that. So then if we want to make barbecue sauce, it should be as easy as just doing this. Did we have this saucepan? Where did our recipe go? Right here. So now if we do a bacon cheeseburger, we should be able to go like this. We do have the barbecue sauce. We don't have the ground beef. Bread is pretty easy because we have wheat coming in. So we're gonna need that. We are gonna need the bread recipe. So now if we go and put our bread here and this guy here, what else are we missing? So if I try to order this bacon cheeseburger, it's going to say we're missing ground beef and a saucepan. Saucepan is super easy. All we have to do is make one. We had done this, but maybe it was something else. And then we need ground beef. Ground beef is made with a grinder. We need andesite for that. That should be easy. That should just be in our dank. We should upgrade our dank soon too. So andesite, 1, 2, 3. Throw that in there. Let's make ground beef. I'm surprised that this is the only recipe for ground beef that it takes. And let's go here and we're gonna make ground beef with raw beef. It's gonna make 2 at a time. That's cool. And then we put that here. I'm surprised we don't have to cook it too. That's very strange. So now if we order this guy, it's gonna say, still gonna say we're missing a saucepan. Do we not have a saucepan? I guess not. So then if we say cheeseburger, please. Now it's happy. Oh, we had the skillet. So let's hit start and and it made us our first bacon cheeseburger, which is awesome. This is going to be a really good food. We're going to just throw these in our backpack because our auto feeding tool is going to automatically feed us a bacon cheeseburger whenever we're hungry. So let's make the rest of this stack. We do not have enough milk for that. So it's going to take, it looks like it's going to be pretty milk intensive to make these. We might need another cow in a bottle, but I mean, over time, it's probably going to be fine. How many of these can I make? Can I make like 10? It says we only have 1 pot. Why do we need 2 pots? Probably because it's trying to multi-craft. It's trying to make 2 things at the same time. So let's make another one. Is that going to be fine? And then a cheeseburger. Can we make 10, please? Yes, it's going to be happy with that. It's probably trying to make the salt and the milk at the same time, or the cheese. So that should keep us happy for a while. Cheeseburgers. So I've actually decided to switch up our bread making recipe a little bit here. We're going to take this one out. We're going to make flour and dough because it's going to stretch our wheat a little further. Is that still going to work? Let's see. If we request bread, it's going to say we're missing a mixing bowl. Did I not make a mixing bowl? Apparently not. So let's go ahead and make that guy, which is going to take some logs. Oops. And then back to our mixing bowl. All right, so now if I request some bread, yeah, it's going to use all this stuff, but it's going to make our wheat go a lot further. So yeah, that'll fix that. So that's going to be an episode for today, guys. We got our singularities going. How many singularities are we up to? 152 singularities already, which is awesome. We're going to need those. We might actually be able to start working on some other things next episode with those singularities. So thanks for joining me for Cooking with Another Trey. If you guys like the episode, please give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.